Today we're joined with Foursquare Jess. She's visiting every Foursquare in the country. Um, yeah, so just the first question is, what made you decide to visit every Foursquare?
Um, it was definitely a bit in pandemic times and lockdown times when you couldn't, visit other countries. And I was just like, "Oh, I really should get out and visit New Zealand more." And I had barely been anywhere besides, like, I would say, like Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, Dunedin, like the big cities.
Yeah,
And there's just so much more out there. And like even visiting the little rural places, there's like so many like hidden gems there. And like the people there are so nice and like hearing their stories. It started off with kind of like wanting to do the traveling. And I've always kind of had like a wee obsession with Foursquare. And I think I said like offhandedly to one of my friends, like, yeah, I might as well just go visit all of them. And they're just like, you're never going to do that. Like, that's so much work. And it's like something, if someone's going to tell me I can't do something, it's almost like I will make the effort to do it. So, like, 2 years later, here I am. I've visited probably like 100 and I want to say 60 at this point out of 200, and I think it's 25 now.
okay. So you got a little bit more to go.
A little bit more to go. I think I could probably get it done in a year. But you never know. Like I thought I was going to be able to do this all in 1 year, and it has not worked out that way. But it's been a really fun journey. Taking my time with it at least.
Yeah. What was the first store you've gone to, and what's the most recent store you've been to?
The first store I went to, it had to be Britomart. Yeah, because that's I in the CBD, so of Auckland. So it was a nice like 6 a.m. walk down there. I was the first customer, and that's what started it all off. And then the most recent one, gosh, honestly, I've been visiting so many. They kind of all blur in together. I was just spending some time down in Wakatane and Apotiki, and I was at Blue Moon Foursquare. I think that was probably my last one I was at.
What stores have like surprised you the most?
Surprised me the most. Oh, just in terms of like what they have and what they
Yeah, and like
offer the
maybe
community.
like location and all that kind of stuff.
I always say one of my favorite adventures was visiting Raitahi down sort of mid North Island. It's I would say like 20 minutes away from Ohakuni, and their store encompasses like everything you could possibly need. It's obviously like, a bit of a travel to get to any like bigger supermarkets or anything like that. So in the back of their store, they have like the hardware, like birthday decorations, like everything you could possibly need on a whim. And then like I often try and research towns before I go. But this one I researched afterwards, and just like hearing the story of their town, like at one point they had a religious leader that tried to make Raitahi like a sovereign state of New Zealand, which is like, like a funny anecdotal, maybe not funny, but like a story that I just would not have learned other than going and visiting that store, right? Like
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
yeah. So when you like go to a store, do you kind of make it an adventure for like say the town? You kind of learn about the town as well. When you go.
Yeah, I do try because I guess with those rural ones, like I really would love people to comment on my videos and like let me know. Sometimes I used to let the people know when I was coming beforehand. But even like, if they just want to drop a comment that what's special in their town, what I should go visit,
Yeah,
that would be really, really helpful for my journeys because my research only gets me so far sometimes. Like, and usually I'm finding things out as I'm there. But I would love to hear from people about like what makes their town special, especially the little ones. Like obviously I can see touristy stuff in any area, but like what makes their town special is what I want to hear.
Yeah. Do you have like a time where maybe it wasn't like not particularly the best time, maybe something went wrong or the store,
Um, no, I don't. You know what? It is kind of just what you make it. Like,
Yeah.
and there's some places are inherently, they're like little thoroughfare towns. They're kind of like more stop on the way to going somewhere. And I usually try and just give them, their flowers anyway. It's like it's cool that they're operating in this town and they're servicing probably so many people because they are such a thoroughfare town. Like that was one down closer to you, like in Cheviot.
Oh yeah.
They're a real thoroughfare sort of town. But then like going and doing my research afterward, it's like they their Wikipedia has like has like they went out of their way to say they have one full-time police officer that works in the area and stuff, and it's just kind of like kooky little stuff like that. And then I had people commenting being like, yeah, we know that police officer, he's a really good guy, also he's like getting a shout out. um but then like I guess there's been um yeah times where it's just yeah, there's not a lot to say, but you just got to find something, and it's just nice to have a walk around and see these different parts. And it's like, genuinely, I would not have gone there had there not been a Foursquare.
Yeah. Has there like been one store that you either still dying to go or were dying to go and have now been?
There is one. Oh, but there's a couple in the South Island because obviously being from the North Island, it's a bit harder for me to get down there. So I make those trips quite like uh big, and I go all out. I really want to get to Franz Joseph. Like
Oh,
they're a bit out of the way for me whenever I go to, like, I think I've been recently to Hokitika and obviously like Queenstown and stuff, but it's kind of, especially in winter, those roads can get a bit sketchy. So like it's hard to get there. I've been meaning to go back to Alexandra because they've just got a new owner down there, and like he's reached out to me. I really want to come say hi. To even when they change of ownership, because even change of ownership in Foursquares brings like a whole new life to it. So they're special as they are, but then when a new owner comes in, like they obviously want to do something really cool, and I want to come meet them all. I think that's also part of my journey is when I do get to meet the owners of the Four Squares, they're just so nice, and there's often like some really cool stories behind it. Like up in Matakana Four Square, which is a bit north of Auckland, like um Omar, he owns that one, and then his sister owns I forget now, it's I think it's Wahi Beach. Like, so there's some families in the Four Square game, and yeah, it's just really fun meeting them and knowing their stories.
yeah. Do like some staff or people like recognize you for this?
Yeah, some of them do. It's so nice. It's so nice when they do, and oh, it's just like it's a nice video experience too, because like some of them want to be in the videos, some of them want photos, and I still find it so weird that anyone would want a photo of me visiting. But it's so nice, and like I obviously kind of started this just like my own little personal project, and I was just kind of like, if anyone watches, that's okay, and like if no one watches, that's also okay, like trying to tell myself it's not for nothing. But no, but getting recognized, it's still like trips me out. It's it's so fun. And like I recently went over to Waiheke Island to visit Brian at Oniroa, and like he had asked me to come over, and I just spent some time in his store making videos. He's such a nice guy, and it's just so nice meeting the staff. Yeah.
Yeah. So did you always envision it to be like a TikTok series? Like you always plan to, video everyone that you went to?
I guess I've learned a lot about like making videos along the way. When I started, it was just so bare bones, and like I was just like jamming stuff out there, and I still really don't have any idea what what works and what doesn't. I don't understand algorithms or anything like that, but I kind of would like to make it more of a like regional series now, like more of a travel um blog, like going around and visiting the cool things that people want me to go visit, and like taking those suggestions and stuff. But I never envisioned, I mean, for it's not even that popular, let's be honest. It's like, but it's for what it is, like, and for my viewership, it's so fun, like that it has got to where it has got.
Yeah. Um, what has like been the best thing of like the whole journey itself?
Gosh, that's like hard to answer. I think it's yeah, there's so many like facets to answering that. I like to say it's like building the relationships that I have, and like getting people sort of buy-in. I really like seeing being like, oh my God, that's my town. And a comment I get a lot is, my FYP is getting way too local. Like I don't know if you'd ever think like you would be seeing on your TikTok FYP like Culverden, but like Culverden, uh it's not a very big place, and it's also one of those thoroughfare towns. But I was recently in touch with the owner of Culverden, and he sent me just like all this Foursquare merch that he's had for so long, and it's like stuff I've never, like, you don't see out in the shops anymore. Like some of it must be more than, like, I would say 15 years old. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, are you sure you want to part with this? And he's just like, it's going to a good home. Like, so it's just, I think that's actually probably one of the best things. It's like building those relationships and having people, reach out to me. And yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
merch is pretty cool too.
Like a lot of people may not even know much about Foursquares. They're, I'd say, probably not one of the big supermarkets. Do you find like this series has like maybe helped people know more about Foursquare? Like I like for me, I didn't even know there was some in certain places that you've been to.
Yeah, I guess so. I've never really thought about it in that way, because for me, it feels so quintessential New Zealand. So like Kiwi, like everyone knows of Foursquare, right? So I feel like sometimes when people from overseas watch, they're like, what is this? Like
Yeah.
it's it's like it's not really something that they would understand. And like when I had to explain it to my relatives that live in England, I was just like, oh, maybe like a similar thing would be like express Tesco's or something. And then they're like, okay, well, why are you visiting all of them then? And it's just like, okay, it's a New Zealand thing. Like we all know and love it. I guess like for the ones that are in very rural areas and maybe aren't advertising, or don't, they're not so well known, I guess that people now know about them. It's yeah, I never really thought about it like that. Yeah, it's maybe like a bit of an outreach thing, but like I love hearing from those owners. Like I think one of the first social medias of a Foursquare that ever reached out to me was Tuatapere, which is like right down the bottom of the South Island. And I was just like, that's so trippy that all the way at the other end of the country. they're like watching
Mm.
these videos, and that's a really cool store as well down there. It's so big. It's another one of those ones that sells everything that they could possibly sell, you know.
Yeah.
They're the town's like garden center, hardware store, you know, birthday supplies, stationery, supermarket, grocer, you know.
Yeah, I guess when you're saying that, like visiting like Foursquare, does feel like a New Zealand thing, you know, like you wouldn't, yeah, I guess you wouldn't see like a someone in America visiting, you know, little stores over there. It just feels like something Kiwis would do, you know?
So
Yeah.
Kiwi. And the year I started it as well, it was their 100th birthday, and I don't think I actually clicked on to that until it was closer to their 100th birthday. So that felt like pretty special. And like for their 100th birthday, I got you know, Charlie like tattooed on my ankle. So I was in it no matter what after that. Like there was no really turning back.
Yeah. Is there a difference between, you know, like the city stores, you know, like Auckland or, you know, compared to these rural stores? Do you like feel a difference?
Yes, yeah. So I'm actually going to do a video on this soon. So like with those the ones you see in Auckland, and probably like one that I could probably point out to you down your way is like maybe Darfield. There's black stores that have these like neon lights in them, and they're really like upgraded and flash, and they're called 4.0 stores. So I was trying to piece together the information before this because like as you go like through Auckland, a lot of them are like, you know, coming up with those new upgrades like the 4.0 stores, the new and the flash ones. But as you do go to the rural ones, or even down in Wellington, Wellington has quite a special bunch where I imagine they're quite like the oldest that you can find, and they're usually bright yellow, and they have like some of the older depictions of Charlie. um and so there's like four different, I mean they call it 4.0, but I'm trying to put it together in my mind that there is kind of four different versions of Foursquares, and you do see them quite regionalized and bunched together. So there's the big yellow ones with the older Charlies. There's kind of like the South Island has a lot of like I would say the next ones where they have these certain sort of signs inside. I could show you a picture afterward or something like that. And then there's this maybe like next step three that I would say is like this emerald green color. And then that's kind of them lending their way to the new black ones that they have now. So I'm gonna try find a way to explain that without just going off on my own like personal tangent, because I find this really interesting, but I don't know if anyone else would.
Yeah, and then you said you've been to 160 something and there's about 220 something. Do you have a plan like once you've visited them all? Like, you know, what's next,
Yeah,
I guess?
I really don't know. I think I did not think that far ahead when I got into it. Like, my last one that I ever want to visit is Stewart Island. I want that to be the last one.
Yeah.
I want that to be like a big celebration for me, because that's like I don't think there's probably any other reason I would have gone to Stewart Island anyway. Like there's just you know, there's it always maybe seems to fall to the bottom of the list in terms of travel or anything like that, unless you're an actual tourist in New Zealand. But um, it's no real plans. I'm maybe thinking maybe should I go into a different brand, but I don't think I could maybe shake the Foursquare after this. Maybe I'll just keep on visiting them. Maybe a lot of people have suggested like when are you gonna own your own Foursquare? And I was like, I don't I personally don't think I'm cut out for that. So
Yeah. Well, that's all like the questions I had. Yeah, is there
yeah.
anything else you wanted to add or talk about, you know, regarding Foursquare?
No, like no, it's been really nice talking to you. I mean, like honestly, a lot of people in my life don't let me talk this long about Foursquare. They kind of they're sick of it at this point. So, no, thanks for that. I mean, all I would really love to say is that if anyone's gonna watch my videos and they have a Foursquare near them, please like comment and give me suggestions of where I should go, what I should do, like what I should eat. It just like it makes my journey, and then I can collate that and make it into a really cool video. And yeah, so that's really what I want from this.
Yeah, I love obviously interviewing, but I like finding people who are doing interesting things that you maybe don't see, in the mainstream media, you know.
Yeah, but a lot of people say like you obviously don't see it because like who would be mad enough to do that?
But just maybe just the last thing, just for people, where can they find you? Yeah.
Oh, they can find me on TikTok. My handle is four, like the number four, four square Jess. And it's the same on Instagram. I mainly do it's the same sort of content, but like my stories would be different on Instagram. I mainly post on Instagram so my mum can see my journeys and she can know where I am in the country. But because she doesn't have TikTok. But yes, those are the two platforms you can find me on.
Yeah, and I'll link them when I upload the video.